Hello everyone, this is our Belong Business Analytic project presentation. Our presentation including 11 parts. First is the company overview. Belong is a young telecom company which started in October 2013 in Australia and expands its customer service to the mobile data market in 2017. Now customers can get a flexible and affordable home and mobile plans. Without the brick-and-mortar store, all the services are provided through Belong's website online. In the meanwhile, the company's compliments, complaints, and suggestions from customers will also be collected online. Second is objective and motivation. So why we did this research? First is the market reason. With the rapid development of society, telecommunications have developed rapidly. In recent years, global investment in telecommunications have reached 1.43 trillion US dollars. However, with the market gradually saturated, the company's profit and market share for each company towards stability. Therefore, the profit per user is declining. Second is the company reason. Customers' churn is an important problem for all companies. The purpose of this research is to help the Belong company discover more potential customers and their real needs based on the analysis of the data obtained, to improve the business performance and strategy, also to increase the company market share and profit. Third, for the future company development plan, the analysis results can help the company to a better business strategy and maintain the customers. After we did the research, Belong could build their competitive advantages by generate data-oriented suggestion for the company's strategy, which can provide better opportunities for its future development. Also, the maintained current customers and the discovered potential customers could boost the Belong's market share and its revenue as well.
For explanation of data, there are three possible data resources. IBM sample dataset is chosen because other two datasets have many unnecessary variables and are too complex. In this dataset, it contains 7,043 observations, 20 independent variables, and one target variable. However, because after modeling all variables by using three models, there are 8 variables, including device production, multiply lines, online backup, partner, payment method, full service, streaming TV, tech support, have a little donation to the results. The final model will delete these variables. Deleting these variables has very little impact on the final results. So the final model contains 12 independent variables and one target variable. This is the data dictionary. Customer ID is ID and chain is target variable. Others are input variables. For overview of data meaning precise, there are 5 steps. First is business understanding. It includes market and company analysis and key demand and target. Second is data preparation. It includes data reduction and data cleansing. Next is modeling, which including 3 models that we used, and the next is evaluation, including ROC comparison. The last one is solution. First 2 steps were talked before. For data preparation, we deleted lines relevant variables, and because there is no missing variables and no low quality variables, so we do not need to reform the dataset.
After completing data preparation, next step is modeling. We use RapidMiner to build three different models to predict customer churn. They are decision tree, rule induction, and naive Bayes. Decision tree model will generate a tree structure result. The leaf node indicates the class label, and the branch indicates the testing result. The hierarchy structure is easily understood and gives us a clear picture of which type of customer will churn and which will not. Rule induction model build the if then else rules, while each rule is independent. It has the advantage that the results are easy to understand and prior knowledge can be added to them easily. Customer churn can be predicted based on a set of input variables by using this model. Different from the decision tree model, naive Bayes ignores the weight of attributes and has the assumption that the effect of independent variables is independent of others. Naive Bayes can be used to determine how each independent variable impacts the customer churn. Here is the design of the models. First, we filter examples with missing attributes. About 11 examples being filtered in this around 7,000 example dataset. Therefore, the impact is minor. Then we select out some attributes have minor impact on the model. And we use an optimized parameter operator to run the tree model and rule model. This operator gives highest accuracy by testing different parameter combinations. And since naive Bayes model only has one parameters, we use the traditional way to design the process. Begin with splitting data, modeling, and finally apply model and measure performance. The next step is evaluation. First, we're using receiver operating characteristic curve to evaluate. Area under a ROC curve measures the prediction performance. In here, y-axis is the prediction accuracy, and x-axis represents the sample size. The bigger the area under the curve, the better the performance are. Comparing three curves, we can see that the tree model is a better prediction method when the sample size is small. Now we are looking at the confusion matrix for three models. Decision tree and rule induction have similar overall performance, while the naive Bayes has lower accuracy. The class precision for predict no is higher and predict yes is lower. The deviation is bigger than the above two methods. Based on those facts, we choose the decision tree model for further analysis.
Based on efforts needed during the process and the analysis of performance measurement, we decided to mainly focus on decision tree model and use the results of rule induction and the naive Bayes model to supplement our findings. This picture shows the results of decision tree model. Totally, there are 16 rules generated. To predict whether customers are churned with different situations, we totally identified 9 key rules, and some of them will be talked deeply later. Also, there are 7 effective variables in predicting customer churn were identified, which are total charges, paperless billing, tenure, internet service, senior citizen, monthly charges, and streaming movies. Now, I will introduce 4 of our 9 key rules. For those customers who prefer month-to-month contracts, this internet service is required as DSL. When the total amount charged to customers is higher than $311.275, then customers will not be churned. when the total charges is equal or less than this figure, and it still is equal or less than $155.875, also paperless is chosen, then customers will be churned. If fiber optic is required, and the customers have been staying with Belong for more than 13.5 months, and less than 43.5 months, and the paperless billing is not chosen, then customer will not be churned. But if the customers have been staying with Belong for less than 13.5 months, and the total amount charged is higher than $132.85, and the monthly charges is higher than $80.575, then the customer will be churned. So far, I have briefly talked about our decision tree model findings. Okay, now let's look at our results from rule induction model. Totally, there are 33 rules generated. I will introduce some rules that are consistent with our decision tree model results. First one, this means if the tenure is greater than 16.5 months and the contract is 2 years, customers will not be churned. This one is related to online security. When there are online security supplied and the tenure is greater than 28.5 months, the customer will not be churned. But if no online security is supplied and the total charges are equal to or less than $1,263.275, customer will be churned. That's all about our result analysis.
Based on the rules and identified variables, several interesting findings are summarized. Customers who have signed long-term contracts with Belong are less likely to be churned by different conditions. Paperless billing and tenure have significant influence on customer churn. The choice of different internet service, DSL or fiber optic, have opposite results in customer churn. When there is a lack of online security ensured, the customer will be highly likely to consider to leave. When monthly charge is less than 50, customers will be less likely to leave. When the monthly charge comes to 50 to 125, customers will be more likely to churn. Whereas when total charge comes to less than 2500, customers will be more likely to churn. And when total charge is more than 2500, customers will be more likely to stay with Belong. So we propose several recommendations for Belong. For regular customers, it is better to offer long-term contracts to maintain loyal customers and further reduce customer churn. For longer-time contracts, promotions such as discounts could be offered to avoid customer terminating signing contracts with Belong. Paperless billing is a popular option for younger generations, whereas paper billing is still essential for senior citizens since they are not familiar enough with paperless billing. Pricing strategies should be based on data generated from the effective models, and data analysis should be conducted first. Belong should generate business data analysis reports regularly to adjust marketing strategies to maintain loyal customers as well as attracting potential customers. For potential customers, Belong should plan and implement different strategies corresponding to different age groups. And advertising strategies should be focused to improve brand awareness and help Belong earn more market share. Additionally, regular promotions such as discounts for new customers can also be planned to help capture the market. In this proposal, we ensured that the data types were appropriate and used 3 models to analyze this data. Our main model of choice was decision tree model due to its simplicity and high accuracy. Through our research, We have found interesting variables that have significant impacts on customer churn, and provided clear recommendations for Belong to retain loyal customers and attract new customers for continuous profits. It is still crucial for Belong decision-makers to identify customer churn reasons through business daily operations and adjust data-driven strategies in time to help Belong remain competitive in the dynamic market. Well, that's all for our presentation. Thanks for listening.